Hopefully everybody can hear me. It's running a little bit late today. We had to take my mom back to the hospital again. Her oxygen level was like at 88 this morning. It's down in the dangerous territory. Checked it, gave her oxygen, my brother's oxygen, and then it was going back up to 95 or so, but going down to 88 without it. Anyway, I'm back over at Pikeville Hospital. I didn't get to jump in and do my shaking my head thing with all the crap going on from last week. So hopefully you can also hear me. I don't know for sure what microphone I've got. Let me see. Yeah, that's fine right there. So I hope everybody's having a really good day. I'm gonna try to expand that. No, that didn't work. And I'm gonna turn my camera around. I need to go to the back camera, back triple camera. So here we are. This is the emergency room over at um, Pikeville Medical Center in Pikeville, Kentucky. And back over here, like I said, I'd bring mom back over. She was pretty much incoherent this morning and actually through the night, but she had never left her recliner. And so it was getting really concerning. And so I've got my sister Edna's here with her right now. I'm here. We had to use my brother Gideon's oxygen to keep her oxygen from bottoming out. But she's coherent right now and doing all right. So I'm assuming that that's a good thing, but don't know. We're just waiting. It's a wait and see thing. So, yeah. Anyway, this is where I am. I did want to talk about a few things, but I need to get back in with my mom at the moment, though. But I should be back home maybe. I could do something a little bit differently at 6 this evening. A lot of stuff to talk about. There's things going on over on Twitter. You've got people like Matt Walsh and everybody out there blaming trans people for all the violence in the country. And that's such a load of crap. That's not the case at all. You've got right wing media over there doing the same kind of crap, trying to blame trans people for everything. They just need a boogeyman or something. They're afraid. I don't know what it is, but really, I think the whole idea is that they want to villainize us so much to get rid of us. And if they keep up the narrative of this villainization, then they can justify having the country and the rest of the and our states and people all attacking trans people. And really, that's a load of horseshit, put it bluntly, because we aren't the violent ones. I did send out something over the weekend. I said, so I wanted to explain what it was like to be a one of those transgender terrorists that he's always talking about. These people over there on the right are talking about. It was a day in the life of a trans terrorist from Eastern Kentucky. A lot of satire there, a lot of satire, obviously, but my day starts out, checking mom, making sure she's got the food, the medicine, got her laundry and stuff's all that done, dishes done, food's ready for everybody. Check Irma, my sister, make sure my brother was all right, and then get lunch, get supper, do the same thing over in the evening, go back, go to bed, get up in the morning, do the same thing the next day. So that's me being a trans terrorist in Eastern Kentucky. And if only more of us could be actual like that, actually like that, where we're actually, you know, doing things that matter and count. That's more important than all of this name calling and crap that's going on out there from the right hand side of the. I'm gonna call them the underhanded side of the right hand side. I don't know what else to call them, but they're just doing everything in their power to villainize trans people, and there's only one reason for it. There's no data to back it up. There's no evidence to back up their claims. Nothing at all, at whatsoever. But still, they want to try to villainize trans people as if we're the biggest threat in the country, and that's how it's coming across. And that's the way Matt Walsh is putting it. And pointedly, that's exactly the way Charlie Kirk put it too. Even though you might not like to hear that, he quotes. I can quote you stuff that he has said directly from his own conversations in context, not taken out of context like a lot of people do their Bibles, but in context, showing you what he thought about people. Actually, thought he wanted to engage and have conversations, and that was a good thing. That part was good. He wanted to be able to carry on a conversation with people he disagreed with, He always sought to have people who he disagreed with bring their conversations to the front of the line. That's me. That's exactly how I try to deal with things too. And but but you have to be willing to listen and entertain the possibility that you might be wrong. But it's hard to do that when you base all of your assumptions on some kind of mythological belief that is an absolute. There are no absolutes in this world. I don't care what you think about that. That they're all man-made. Every darn one of them. There are no absolutes in this world. Oh my God! Especially when it comes to your beliefs, and especially even people like me who's transgender. And the thing that really bothers me a whole lot is that all these people are going around saying things like it's transgender ideology and it's transgenderism. And I'm gonna tell you something. I am not an ideology. You see me, I see you. I'm real. I'm right in front of you. I exist. You can't pretend that I don't. I am here. You can't all the words somebody might use to say that trans people aren't real, that it's a fake thing. Look, all those people who are claiming that, for the most part, not all of them, for the most part, they're the ones hiding behind some fake name on Twitter or some other social media site. They don't have the courage of their conviction to actually do something and say it. They're ashamed of what they say, or they just don't want people to know that they're that big of an asshole. Their friends, their families. That must be it. I mean, nothing they say makes any sense. It's not justifiable. Not justifiable at all. The data does not support trans people being the violent ones. You know which supports, though? The data actually shows that it's young men, not trans women, not trans men, men. And people, I've got somebody over there on Twitter going, that's just something that's made up and all that. And I said, I'm thinking, really? Where have you got your head stuck? Where have you got your head stuck? Because I'm not, when I talk about that, I am not talking about genetic sex. I know my genetic sex is XY, but I'm not talking about that. We have known for a long time, almost 100 years, that sex and gender are not the same. Get over that already, would you? Whenever you tell me stuff like that, the thing that immediately occurs to me is that you must believe that atoms are irreducible, that you can't reduce an atom to anything less. Like the Dalton model of 1803. That's what you must believe, that sex and gender are irreducible. No, they're not. We know better. Dalton didn't know better because he didn't have the science or the measurement techniques to understand it. We do now. We know there's electrons, protons, neutrons, quarks, all that kind of stuff inside there. And we know that sex and gender are not the same. They're related, but not the same. But you got these people trying to convince me and those who are actually knowledgeable of these things that what we know is wrong because it doesn't fit their worldview of being an absolutist binary existence, and we know that's not the case. That's not the case. My God, all you have to do is go look at any hospital anywhere in the world, and you're going to find people who have genetic differences that make for them to have different ways of sexual expression. And I'm talking about sex expression, not sexual expression. Sex expression. They're all different. And thank God. Thank God your sexual anatomy doesn't look like your neighbor's sexual anatomy, right? Thank God for that. There's a little variety there. There are some differences. Thank goodness for that. But that kind of difference extends far into everything about the human body and the differences between sex and gender. Those two arose separately. One is physical and in terms of the body, the expression, the anatomy. Then the other one is in the way the brain was flooded with different types of hormones. We know those things are true, but you can't deny. We got people who are science deniers trying to tell people who know about science that their science is wrong, and I'm going like, all I can do is shake my head, saying, "Oh my God, you've got to be freaking kidding me." Somebody with a fifth grade understanding of biology is trying to tell me and all these other people who actually know these things that their understanding of the science is wrong. No, you don't. Your opinion is not even worth it. You can have an opinion like that, but you should base your reality, your science, your opinions in some kind of reality, don't you think? Kirk did not want LGBT people in the country. He did not want them there. He may talk with them, he may engage with them, but he always yelled back at them. He tried to overpower their way of dealing with things in such a way that it made him look good in his crowd, but at the same time he was just full of crap. He didn't deserve to die. He should never have died. Tyler Robinson was wrong and needs to be dealt with according to the law. For Matt Walsh and others like him to go around saying there's a trans epidemic of violence in this country, where the hell do they get that? Where? Anybody? Anybody? There is no supporting evidence for that at all. The only reason that it becomes an issue on the right is because, well, you've got, you know, Trump News. I mean, Fox News over here pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and it's just blatantly stupid. It's wrong. But the reason they say it, they don't care about the truth of it. It's whoever gets who has got the loudest narrative and shouts it the most frequently, and they're trying to say, we've been saying this for a long time. Yeah, you've been saying it for a long time, and you've been wrong a long time. But just because you say it a long time and you have other people who are convinced that you've been right for a long time, well, I got news for you. You're wrong. You're wrong. Get your head out of your behind, folks. Jeez. And grow up. My God. And I'm going to speak this directly to veterans before I go back in here into the hospital and go check on mom. If you are a veteran, if you're a service member and you're getting ready to become the esteemed little title as veteran in front of your name, if you are in the military or you are a veteran of the military, and you tell me you don't support that group of Americans right there because they don't look like you, believe like you, think like you, love like you, any of those kind of categories, then you probably ought to turn your DD 214 back in, because you serve for all Americans. You serve for all Americans, whether you like them or not. Whether you like them or not. If they're an American, you serve for them. Every single one of them. So whenever I see a group of veterans out here going after certain other groups of people who are Americans, I'm like, where's your honor? Where's your integrity? What did you do in the military that made you think that you had a right not to stand in defense of every American and not just the ones you happen to like? So if you're one of those veterans out there who say those kind of things, or who are going out here defending stupidity by saying things like trans people don't exist, they don't have a right to exist, it's trans violence, and all that kind of stuff, I got news for you. Just go down to the recruiter's office and hand that darn sheet of paper back in, because it is worthless to you. You have absolutely dishonored your military service whenever you say something like, oh, I didn't serve for that bunch of Americans. Yes, you did. And if you think you didn't, turn your DD 214 in. You're blatantly stupid and wrong. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of pisses me off. Phew. I've seen a lot of that kind of stuff. Who did you serve for? Oh, you said I served in defense of the Constitution and American ideals and things like that. Well, look, you serve for all Americans, even the ones you disagree with. You have a right to your opinion. Absolutely do. Absolutely do. But you serve for every American and not just a handful who looks like you, thinks like you, loves like you, or whatever. You serve for them all. You serve for every woman, man, and child in this country who is an American. And I got people debating what it means to be an American. They go, shouldn't there be some kind of qualifications to be an American? I said, no, really. Absolutely not. You know why? It's very clear. If you're born here, you're an American. If you're naturalized into the United States, you're an American. There are no qualifications for that. There are no caveats. There are no footnotes. There are no addendums attached to that statement. And all these people going around saying, oh, this is a heritage American kind of thing. Heritage American? If you were born here, you're an American. If you were naturalized here, you're an American. Just because your family has been here since 1640, like mine has, probably further back than that, but I know at least 1640, probably 1635. That doesn't make you any more or less of an American than anyone else in this country. It just means your family's been here a little bit longer than the rest of us. Not mine. There's only a handful been here longer than mine. My family goes all the way back to the leaders in Virginia, the Lees, the Braxtons, Williamson families, all there in Virginia, the Jacksons. And in North Carolina, I come from a long line of Southern leaders in this country. And I've disavowed all that stuff to do with slavery and the Confederacy and all that because it is just a full on BS, okay? So veterans, whenever a veteran tells me that they do not support that particular American because of who they are, then take your darn DD 214 and turn it back in. You don't know what the crap you're talking about. Whew, goodness, I got to go back in and check on mom.